Hello and welcome back to the channel. In case you didn't know, I'm Fish, a relatively new Pokemon TCG player, and today we're going to Louisville. Louisville? Today we're going to Louisville! So it looks a little bit different. That's just because I'm rushing to get out of the house and drive on over. So, today is Thursday before Louisville. We're getting ready to head on out, and yeah, I couldn't be more excited for my first major. We'll see how we do. I'm bringing Terapagos EX actually instead of Raging Bolt. I'm bringing both just in case, but I don't think I'm gonna switch. I've been playing Terapagos at locals, and it's been going okay. It's definitely a more thinky deck, but I got to Mew League on TCG Live, so I'm pretty pumped about that, and I think I've got enough practice in. I have like over 100 games with the deck, so we'll see how we do. But yeah, I couldn't be more excited for my first major, and we got a long drive ahead of us, so let's get to it. About 3.5 hours away from the hotel in Louisville. We're driving through some very beautiful scenic trees and such. But yeah, I'm excited. Are you excited? I'm
excited.
Yay!
Very excited.
That's my girlfriend Sarah.
Hello.
She's with me.
Hello.
We're making a whole weekend of it. It's gonna be really fun.
It's gonna be fun.
So every time I head towards Indianapolis, we stop at a very particular gas station for some reason. I don't know why. I always have the urge to stop whenever we pass this gas station, but it's this pilot station in Remington in Indianapolis, and they have a Taco Bell and they have a Cinnabon inside, which is really cool. So we might get some Cinnabon. We'll see. Center of the roll. Delicious.
The next day.
Okay, so it is Friday, the day before the tournament, and we just got up. We're getting ready to go out. I have my bag, and we're gonna head to the exhibition center, the expo center, and we're gonna go grab wristbands and check out vendors and stuff. Maybe do some side events today. I'm not completely sure, but yeah, see you there. But yeah, we just got back to the hotel from Friday. I picked up some cards. I picked up a nice Pidgeot. We picked up a little Fampy plush. That's Miss Sarah's favorite. There he is.
Baby.
What's his name?
I don't know. It's undecided right now.
It's undecided. It's
To be honest.
either, it's not Mr. Gould. It might be Mr. Gould. But, but yeah, so I'm going to show you what we got. We got our Cinderace playmat and our Briar promo card. Look at that Briar. Very cute. Reverse holo with the regional stamp. The old logo regional stamp, actually, too. But yeah, pretty exciting. I'm loving it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. And I don't know if I'm going to keep the playmat. I'm definitely going to keep the Briar. I don't know if I'm going to keep the playmat. I might keep it just because it's my very first one, but we'll see. All right, it's the morning of. I woke up a little bit later than anticipated because I slept through my alarm. Woohoo! But we're on our way right now. Let's hit the tournament. Woohoo! So round one was a loss to Charizard, unfortunately. He had Pidgeot set up pretty early both games, and he was able to Forest Seal Stone Pidgeot Quick Search 4-game both times for Rare Candy Charizard. So unfortunately I didn't get it, but we persevere on to round two. Alright, round two was another loss against Raging Bolt. Unfortunately, game one, I went Noctowl Search, Featherball, Rare Candy, and I got my Pidgeot out, and then I decided to Quick Search. I accidentally grabbed two cards off of Quick Search, and I went to go use the Colress that I had searched off of the Quick Search along with the Prime Catcher, and then my opponent was like, hey, how'd you get the Prime Catcher? And then I was like, oh yeah, I thought I was using Noctowl, not Quick Search. And so we ended up calling a judge, and I got a game loss because of it, because the game had proceeded to such an advantage in my favor that it couldn't be repaired, apparently, according to the judge. So unfortunately that was a game loss, and then I lost the second game to Raging Bolt, and I just couldn't. I was pretty tilted, so I just didn't play very well. So on to round three. Okay, so you may be wondering why I'm back at the hotel, and that's because I dropped after round three. I'm gonna be honest, I was real upset after round three. So round three ended up being against Roaring Moon. The guy was really nice. I really enjoyed playing against him. We both kind of went a little too slow, I think, though, and we ended up going into time. And because I was kind of feeling down on myself already, I decided to just give him the game. He was up on prize cards, and I was just like, you know what? You would have been closer to winning this game anyway. After the 0, 1, 2, 3 turns, so it was all good. I gave him the game and then dropped. So unfortunately, the main tournament is over for me. However, I'm still going back tomorrow. I'm going to play in the Cup, and I'm going to see if I can get these dang Duskulls and Duskmars. We ended up going to a shop, Through the Decades, it was called, and they had 2 of the Duskulls, so I was pretty stoked about that. The guy gave me a really good deal, and hopefully tomorrow at the vendors we'll be able to grab 2 Dusknoir, 1 more Duskull, maybe some nice Ionos. That's what I'm looking for. And 2 more double turbo energies. But tomorrow, I'm not sure what I'm going to play, whether it's going to be Bolt or Terapagos, but I'm going to make that decision, and I'll let you guys know. Okay, so we're here at the hall. It's much more empty today, as you could probably see behind me. But we are about to do round 1 of the League Cup that's here today. Yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm excited. Lost round 1 of the Cup to Raging Bolt. Unfortunately, it was just a absolute brick fest. I opened 2 Terapagos, Hoot Hoot, and no way to find a fan rotom, so it was just did not go well. And I didn't have any supporters. I didn't go second, so it was just overall bad. But yeah, on to round 2. So round 2 was against Raging Bolts, and I lost again. Usually that's supposed to be a pretty good matchup for me, but unfortunately I couldn't get enough Pokemon on the bench on turn 2 in order to KO a 2-prizer, so I had to go after his Greninja. But he had the Night Stretcher for the Greninja the next turn, unfortunately, and then he ended up taking a 2-prize knockout of my Terapagos, so the prize map was kind of weird. We were both down to 3 prize cards. He took a 2-prize knockout, so I couldn't even Briar in order to get the 3-prize turn. So unfortunately, I couldn't Briar or Dusknoir in order to get the 3-prize turn, so I took a 2-prize turn, and then he took a 1-prize turn, and that was game. So unfortunately, we are 0-2 in the cup. But yeah, round 3. So round 3 was against Giratina, Lost Zone, and yeah, it came down to the last couple prizes. I had 2, he had 3. He had his Super Rod prize, and unfortunately he could not get to a Psychic Energy for his Giratina or for his Sableye to knock out my 2 Dusknoirs, or my 2 Duskulls. So unfortunately for him, I took that one. It was kind of a, I probably shouldn't have won that, but I did. But yeah, on to round 4. All right, so round 4 was against Raging Bolts, and unfortunately it was a loss. My opponent was really nice though. She was really funny. We ended up singing Mr. Sandman together at some point during the match, which was really interesting. I don't remember the context, but that happened. But it was just a really slow game for me. She ended up Ionoing turn 2 and I just drew nothing. I drew a Noctowl off the Iono, but I wasn't able to get to a Terapagos, so I couldn't use the Noctowls, unfortunately, until like 3 turns later. So, and by that point it was just, she was way too ahead in advantage, so unfortunately I couldn't get there. Ended up being like 4 prizes on my end to 2 on her end, and she took the last 2 prizes, knocking out a Terapagos. So unfortunately, that was it for me. I ended up dropping after that. We are 1-6 total. We are also 0-4 against Raging Bolt, which should be a really good matchup for me, but unfortunately, it apparently is not. Not as free as I thought it was going to be. But yeah, so that's the end of my Louisville dreams. We're going to hit up a couple shops in the area. The vendors were like completely picked over by the end. They were completely picked over by the end of the 3rd day. And so we're just heading on out. We're going to get some lunch and hit some shops. So see you guys later. Okay, so we are back home. Yeah, so obviously the Louisville tournament didn't go how I had hoped. We ended up going 1 for 7 on the weekend, I think. And yeah, it didn't go well. I'm chalking that up to Terapagos being too big brain for me right now, still as a beginner. I need to get some more fundamentals and stuff down before I jump back into that deck. But yeah, so for the foreseeable future, I'm going to be on Bolt. I thought I'd give it a shot with Terapagos just to see how I could do, and turns out it's not very well. So yeah, we're gonna switch back to Bolt. But yeah, so here's the Terapagos list. it's pretty standard, nothing like too special. I decided to go with a combination of like, because I looked at Tord Reklev and Josh Frank's masterclasses beforehand, before Louisville, and I decided to go with kind of an amalgamation of the two. They both kind of agreed that we should be playing Professor Turo's scenario in the list, which I personally did not like at all. The whole tournament, I didn't use it once, which was probably bad on my part. I probably should have found a use case for it, but yeah. So it's sort of an amalgamation of the two lists. I didn't end up running the Bouffalance or Penny, which was in Tord's list, and I sort of went a little bit more conservative with the list. Nothing too spicy or crazy. But yeah, so that is the video, I suppose. We ended up having a really good time in Louisville, other than the tournament. We got some really good food. We got some really good coffee. We got to hang out and see some sights, smell some smells, hear some sounds. The KFC Yum Center. But yeah, it was a good time overall, I would say, and hopefully it's the first of many majors I go to. So we will see you in the next video. Like the video if you liked it, obviously. Subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, I've been Fish. Later.